What's up, gaming heroes? Welcome back to another awesome World of Warcraft video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be looking at something quite interesting. I'm not going to lie, it's going to probably frustrate a lot of you because it frustrated me really badly. And as a result of that, I feel like I'm kind of responsible to make a video on this. As a content creator, I have an access to a certain level of influence across a general gold making community, well, a World of Warcraft community in general. And this video is mostly to show that there's a serious problem with World of Warcraft and Blizzard aren't taking any responsibility for it. And what that is creating is a toxic gaming environment. And I kind of feel like I've tried my hardest to fix this situation by, reaching out to Blizzard. But really, Blizzard have absolutely no interest in putting parameters into place to kind of fix this, which is okay, fine, that's okay. As a result of that, I feel like I've got responsibility to warn in my audience here. My audience, I don't want them I don't want them to have to go through the same pains and mistakes that I went through, and thus this video is going to show how to avoid it and how to do it. Before we get into anything though, please be sure to hit the like button. It truly helps the YouTube algorithm. It just gets my video out there a bit further, so I really appreciate it. And every comment obviously boosts the video as well, so hugely helps. Thank you so much for your support thus far. Let's get into the video. What I am showing you right now is my personal greatest failure in gold making, and it hurt me really badly. It was buying 123 Frostweave cloth for 210,000 gold. How did this happen, you might ask? This happened because there are players who make gold by effectively scamming people on the auction house, and that they hate the word scamming. They cry about it in the comment section, and they have little hissy fit. It's not a scam. Let's just look up the definition of what a scam is. Define scam. A scam is a deceptive scheme or trick used to cheat someone out of something, especially money. Scam is also a verb meaning to cheat someone in such a way. Okay, guys, so that is the definition of scam. So, me using the word people scamming on the auction house to basically get items from people for low gold, or get loads of gold for a low amount of items. This is a scam. Pure and simple. Now I lost 210,000 gold. That took me probably a week to get, from crafting and sticking stuff in the auction house, and it was a huge shame that was the case. Okay, and it really upset me, made me feel really sad, made me just not want to play at all. And this was just caused by, I went to buy, I clicked restock on my crafting for tailoring. It said I needed I clicked restock on my tailoring. It said I needed something like 130 Frostweave cloth. And so I saw on the auction house the Frostweave cloth was something like 50 silver each. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I clicked that and I clicked buy. And I didn't even realize what had happened is the Frostweave cloth it had something like 90 that was 50 silver, and then 30 that was something like 4,000 gold each. And so it automatically grabbed those other ones as well, not just, so it grabbed the first 90 ones, which were 50 silver, and then the rest were all like astronomical price. And then I went to the auction house afterwards and I was like, well, how are they doing this? And this is something I want to show you guys. This has unfortunately happened to me, and I figured the way to show you guys is to show you how you can do it, and that way you know how to avoid it. I'm going to give you a little trick as well using TSM on how you can avoid this ever happening to you in the future, because it's a big hit and it really got me upset and sad, and it's a horrible feeling. But now we've got the solution. So I'm going to show you first of all how to do it. And then second of all, I'm going to show you how you can avoid it happening to you. Because ultimately, we don't want to be tricked. We don't want to trick other people at all, and thus by showing you how to do it, hopefully you can see how they're doing it to other people, and you can combat it in your own way. Blizzard don't care about this. They're washing their hands of all responsibility. I will show you in a second a message I had from a game master when I tried to get my gold back. So this is what they effectively do, guys. They'll have a load of trade goods. Let's just make sure this is center screen. There we go. And if we just search all cloth here, run a shopping scan, and it's just going to search all cloth on the auction house, right? And I'm going to show you a few lists of cloth, and you get these sneaky people who will go to something like, say, let's go to Frostweave cloth. There we go, Frostweave cloth. Okay, and what these sneaky people like to do is they will allow all these to get posted, right? And then at certain times, they will reset this market completely. And they'll reset it, but leave just a couple. Like, I'd say about 20 to 30, even 100 Frostweave cloth. Then they will leave. See this person, Kitana, right here? And Lillidan, and Gimme the Cash. You see those? These guys here are posting, hoping you're going to make a mistake. That's what they're effectively doing. This is on Realm Silvermoon, so if you want to message, any of these, you can message them and ask them how much success they get with it. So past that, this is what they effectively do for all cloth. They'll put 35,000, hoping that someone's going to buy too many. This is like someone's going to buy out all of these, and then someone will buy too many and then buy 35,000 per like cloth, like I did. Stupid mistake, I know, guys, it happened. But they do it with every single cloth available. All right, so Lillidan's got this one here. Someone must have made a mistake and already bought the one here, because I checked earlier and there was a couple more, so they either cancelled or it's or someone unfortunately gave them money. It's wool cloth. It hasn't happened with this market yet. Let's have a look at bolts. Yeah, bolts. Again, Kitana and Lillidan, they're doing it to each other. Ember silk cloth. Again, same people doing this type of thing. And this is on every single auction house there is. You can find this on every single auction house. What they're effectively doing is expecting people to make mistakes, and they're just playing the odds. And obviously, when they win the odds, they win big. They got 200,000 gold out of me. Imagine how much they're getting out of all these various different people. It's enough to make it worth doing every single day. And just look at this. It's absolutely, it's disgusting. It's genuinely disgusting what they're doing. It's scamming people like that. So I'm going to show you now how you can do it in hopes that. So I'm going to show you now what Blizzard said when I reported this issue and said, Blizzard, can you help me retrieve my gold? Because, this was clearly a scam. Wasn't really my fault. It was... I accepted responsibility for obviously making the purchase. However, it's also a bit unfair that, this happened to me. I've been a loyal subscription. I've been a loyal World of Warcraft player for 16 years. Is there anything that can be done? Let's have a look. So let's read this on the main screen. Unfortunately, it's got my real name, Theo, just there. So it's similar to Erosium. You guys can get with that. So this happened 3 days ago. And obviously, I was really upset when I wrote this message. So it's got, I guess, some emotions in here. Trying to, do a little bit of guilt tripping, seeing if I can get my gold back. Basically, hi, I went to the auction and bought some Frostweave cloth. It auto-selected an auction. Before I knew it, I bought the auction only to discover I'd paid 210,000 gold for 100 Frostweave cloth. I'm absolutely devastated. It's taken me months to accumulate that gold. Obviously, it didn't take me months. I just said months because I'm trying so hard to guilt trip to get my gold back. Okay? You gotta work with what you got, guys. I am ever so upset. Please, can something be done to help me with this issue? I've been a loyal customer to WoW since I was 12 years old, and I've never experienced something like this. I am so upset and sad this happened. Please help me. I don't mind if I don't keep the Frostweave. I had no idea that that it would select an auction so expensive. Please help me. You can probably see via my auction interactions, I worked for a long time to get gold, and to see it go down the drain like that is just heartbreaking. This shouldn't be allowed to do that stuff to the auction house. Please, any help you can give will mean the absolute world. I shan't ever make this mistake again. Here we go. Scaldenth, this is the Game Master, right? Response. Hello, Error fam. Game Master Scaldenth here. Thank you for your patience. While your ticket was waiting in a queue, I'm honoured to be able to address your ticket, and I hope that this message finds you well today. Obviously, it didn't find me well today. Obviously, it didn't. You know from the tone of my message, the tone of my message that it doesn't find me well at all. I'm not happy. Spent, 17. So it's basically, and I spent 210,000 gold on the auction house on a mistake. And obviously, I'm not happy. So no, it didn't find me very well today. That message didn't. While I completely understand how sickening this can be, at least he's empathetic with me, because I've done it a few times myself. Customer support would not step in on a situation like this. The developers have defined the auction house as a place for player agency and responsibility, which means we are very hands-off when it comes to any sort of interactions with it. So that is effectively Blizzard saying, listen, buddy, old pal, we have no responsibility for this. We created this system in game, but we're not going to monitor it. We're not going to make sure it doesn't get abused. We're not going to make sure it doesn't get exploited. We're not going to make sure it doesn't scam loads of players out of their hard-earned gold. We're just going to say it's down to player agency. Well, guess what? People are scumbags sometimes. That's what happens. And in all honesty, as a game like this, that is made for loads of people on a whole, they should be aware that this is going to happen, and they should be, putting certain parameters in place where this can't happen to a certain extent. So, if they're posting, items like Frostweave cloth past the 999% market value, then it's a scam. It is. As for how something like this happens, when you put a quantity for an item, it will move through each price bucket until it reaches amount. Yeah, I understand exactly how this happens because it happened to me and I lost 210,000 gold. But thank you for explaining. I know this is not the answer you've been looking for, but I still hope I was able to answer your questions to explain this situation. I'm not after you to answer my fucking question. I'm after an actual fucking solution. I'm not after you to answer my bloody question. I'm after an actual solution to the bloody problem in the first place. I don't want to hear the answer to how this happened. I know how it happened. I made the bloody mistake. I want an actual solution, Blizzard. This is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you again for your time and enjoy your weekend. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have a bloody amazing weekend. Yeah, weekend. Love it. If you have a spare minute to fill in, piss off with your survey. So annoying, dude. Let's create a system and then put no parameters. Let's put no moderation. Let's just create a system that millions of people are going to use and abuse. No, there's a certain level of abuse when it comes to the auction house. Obviously, sometimes people make a mistake. That they make a mistake. It happens. I don't know. Let's stick something up that I don't care about. This iron bar. Oops, I stuck it for 1 gold when they're all 7 gold 50. Oops, that's a mistake. That's a mistake. It gets bought. Tough. Ironically, look, Katana and Illis. That's quite funny. But ironically, that mistake is made. Someone buys it. Fair play. Yeah, that is a mistake. It's understandable. I'm not trying to trick someone at that point. Do you know what I mean? If I buy that from the auction house and I see someone's got a really cheap auction, I'll buy it. That's great. No problem. In fact, I actually need some Warlord Adrenal herbs right now, and I usually find really good deals for these. In fact, I always search the Adrenal herbs, and that's just purely because I always find really good deals for Adrenal herbs. Not today, apparently. I always buy Adrenal herbs under 1 gold, but still, if someone made that mistake and I bought it, it is what it is. I haven't tricked them into it. I've just found a good deal. The difference with this is these people are making mistakes by buying an auction, and then people like Katana and Illidan and people like on multiple realms are doing the exact same thing and making just millions of gold by just screwing players over. And it just gets to the point of like, how far is too far with this type of stuff? How far is too far? All right, now here's another little trick, all right, on how you can stop this happening. TSM, I have discovered recently, has a warning bell to stop this happening, okay, guys? So this is the warning bell. Let's go over to settings, go down to browse and sniper. Let's change screen. Okay, so go over to settings, right there. Go down to browse/sniper. Now, this is really confusing to me because I thought this was just like mostly a sniper thing. I didn't realize that it was all just browse. I know it says browse/sniper, but I just ignored it type thing. So this is a really important setting you have. You click browse/sniper, and I wish that browse had its own like tab instead of browse/sniper, because I kind of feel like if you're not into sniper or anything like that, then having them together, you just ignore it. I wish browse was on a slightly different tab altogether. And basically it says market value prices, DB market, and this is what you really want, is to show confirmation alert if buyout is above alert price. Basically, this will basically yell at you and give you a notification when something is above 400%. Now, this is usually like 999% as a default. I think if I just copy that and then reset it, that's what, oh, it's 200%. And over 1 million gold, because you know that's normal, but realistically we want a minimum of 400% DB market. Personally, that's what I go for. And if we go to the auction house now, when we try and buy something, what shall we try buy? Let's go to this and click this. So you see, contains auctions above your alert threshold. Boom, we get an impression as to how much it costs. Second we go over that amount, you get that yellow thing, so that yellow alert message, so you get an immediate recognition. This is too much, Ero, don't buy this. So it gives you a little bit of an alert. Now, what I would say to TSM to improve this, I think this isn't enough. I feel like the entire box here should go yellow or red, just to really make it clear you are buying something above the value that you want to set. This is a notification. This is a warning. It's not just displaying information. This shouldn't be an information display. When it's above the amount that you are paying, you should have it as a warning. Like with NPC scan, when you find an NPC, it pops up and it's got red around your whole screen. It says NPC nearby. And it says rare elite nearby. So you know to look around. With this stuff, this is potentially, ages. This is potentially hours of people's life gone down the drain from a simple mistake. So that is a way to avoid doing that. Second way to avoid it is to keep your bloody gold in the guild bank, mate. So this is what I do. All my gold now goes into my guild bank here. Now this is obviously my crafting character, so it's only my crafting gold that's in here. Because that's the stuff I'm using to buy items from the auction house. But typically this is all of my gold on this crafting character, 639,000, and it sits in my guild bank. Anything past the 20,000 mark goes back into my guild bank. And if I need to withdraw more, I'll withdraw more, or I will summon my guild bank by simply pressing P and summoning my guild bank like so, and I can withdraw more if I want to. It's super worth doing it like that. That way you can never accidentally spend 200,000 gold on some cloth. It's a terrible mistake to make. Now, here's the second scam that you can do that Blizzard again are taking they're taking no responsibility for at all with sorting out the auction house. Another one is common herbs or common ore from Shadowlands. People will be posting. So let's see if we can find something here. For Shadowlands, what shall we look for? Look at Callous Hide. Okay, so this is another one that people will do on the auction house. They will say on the auction house and they'll get something like, heavy Callous Hide, arboreal meat, that type of stuff. And what they will do is basically post here, see this button here, post that. And buy out, and they'll have a TSM setting so that they can post it at like 1 gold, and then And then they'll cancel it as well, so that when you've posted one, say you've got your own auction up there, you actually get a button that says cancel as well, so you can post, cancel, buyout, etc. And what they do is they basically post, cancel, post, cancel, post, cancel, and they have a ton of it in their bags, right? And what that does is when someone tries to buy their auction, it will basically say error because they've cancelled it too quickly. Occasionally they get through, occasionally they do get through, all right? That is what it is. And then they lose a bunch of gold as a result of that. Now, another little trick. Now, obviously, they lose a little bit of gold as a result of that, but that's fine. What this also does is when people go to post heavy callous hide on the auction house, it will automatically get that price. It will automatically recognize that someone's put it up for 1 gold and people make a mistake. Again, they make a mistake. They get tricked into making this mistake. They post it on the auction house for 1 gold and then they realize and they're like, oh, I'll cancel that. Too late. This person that's posting cancel, buy out your stuff. Buy everything out. Say you post 100 at 1 gold each, you've just literally lost like over 300,000 gold just in a second, and this person's gained 300,000 gold. That's what they do. They do this at high peak times, when people are just posting stuff on the auction house, or they do it, you know, when people are finishing raids and they're tired and they're posting stuff to the auction house, and they make mistakes. Then they're kind of clever with how they do it. They're very sneaky. They're obviously scammers. That's how they work. They exploit people who are making mistakes. People don't like the word scam, but I mean, we've looked up the definition of scam, and we know what it means. And you're an absolute scumbag if you do this, by the way. Just putting it straight out there. If you don't like what I'm saying, dislike the video. I don't care. I will say what I need to because it is wrong. What you're doing, it's morally wrong on every way, shape, and form. Okay. So past that, now I'm going to show you how you can do it. Because, hey, these guys are getting to scam people. Why can't you? You may as well be able to scam people, right? Because guess what? Blizzard don't care. Blizzard say they want to absolve themselves of all responsibility, right? So why should you sit there and get scammed every day? I don't want to get scammed. I don't want to tell people to scam. I think it's scummy. I think it's wrong, personally. But I do also think that if Blizzard are taking zero responsibility on not fixing the issue when the issue is brought up to them by their players, then yeah, I should promote people doing this because they are getting scammed right now, and the more people doing it, the more likely Blizzard will be to actually fix their game, because this is dead wrong to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a group. This is an example group. This is not one I personally use, but this is one that I'm showing you as an example. I don't personally use this, but I would like to show it to you guys, because if more people are doing this, hopefully Blizzard will actually buck up their ideas and take some responsibility for their auction house. It's absolutely ridiculous that they would leave it to be scammed and abused as it has been recently. So let's go to auctions. Let's go to groups and trade goods. So this is one I've already made. So all cloth. Yeah, so this has got all cloth that you can possibly find. Yep. Great. So that's all we needed. All the cloth you can get. You can get bolts of imbued frostweave as well. Heck, let's just stick that in there. Why not? Anything else we want to stick in? Oh, we could stick a little bit of moon cloth in there as well. Why not? Let's make it cheeky. All right, done. Okay, now let's create an operation. So typically they like to post about 3,800. So we're going to do the same thing. Auctions. All right, so auctions. Let's call it, so I've got one down here already, post sneak. It's called post sneak because it's a sneaky post. All right, now let's go down to post cap 20. We want to post about 20 at a time, and it says 3,800. We're going to actually lower this to 3,699 just to undercut the other scammers, right? And the more people that do this, eventually the scam won't work. And it will basically mean that the scammers won't be able to make gold the unethical way. They actually have to make gold the real way, like I do and like other people do. I prefer to use the auction house in a proper way rather than this BS way. Okay, so that's the minimum price. I'm just putting in the actual value I want it to post at, 3,699 gold. And I'm going to put it up for 24 hours at a time. All right, let's do that. No problemo. Fine. You don't actually have to put a lower value than them, but I'm just doing it to piss off the scammers more than anything. When it comes to like undercutting, you never need to actually put a lower value than the person you're undercutting, because the most recent auction is the one that people recognize. Now, if I do this way, it annoys the scammers, and they'll see that, and I'll just keep lowering it and lowering it and lowering it, and it will eventually annoy them to the point that hopefully they'll stop doing it. So that's what I'm going to do. So now we need to apply that operation to the group. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go down to all cloth and operations, and simply, so it will typically say like an override parent operation, and then go down to post sneak, whichever it is you're going to do. Now, bear in mind, guys, I don't want you to do this, but it's more of a creative solution to hopefully get Blizzard to buck up their ideas and actually fix their game. So now we go to the auction house and we run a post scan for not trade goods, just all cloth. Okay, and as you can see here, it automatically posts all the cloth that I've got in my bags at this amount, and hopefully people will. And what the scammer would be thinking is hopefully people are going to make mistakes and thus buy all this stuff. So we're going to post that. Obviously, it's going to cost us a little bit of gold to do the deposit fees. 24 hours, and they will do this with every single material there is out there to do this with. So trade goods, everything that's bought recently to do restocks and stuff like that, they will do this with. That's how you can do this scam. I don't want you to do it, but at the same time, I do want you to do it so that it will make Blizzard will actually fix their game and take some responsibility for the system that they created. Alright guys, this has been an unfortunate video to make, however, it is what it is. Let's look at my TSM really quickly and just see kind of how much gold I've made recently. So the gold I've made recently is 744,000 for the month, just crafting, and then the total gold spent 785,000, and total earned is 1,500,000. So a total profit is 744,000 for the month. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. That's across my crafting characters. I think it's just got Erosium, Bank, which is my transmog seller, Erofam, and then my 2 guild banks there. Not including all of my other crafting characters, just because I like to keep those on the DL because I sell some stuff that I don't like to always show, but it goes pretty well. All right, so that is exactly what we're doing. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you appreciate this video. If you didn't like it, I know you probably didn't like it because it's covering a sore subject for many. Again, I'm just going to go over the word scam. Let's have a look at the word scam again, just so I can really rub it into these scammers. Define scam. Okay, it's not a scam, dude. It's not a scam. Right? It's not a scam, Erosium. A scam is a deceptive scheme or trick used to cheat someone out of something, especially money. That means it's a scam. Scam is also a verb meaning to cheat someone in such a way. So guess what? You're a cheat, a scammer, and you scam as well. So thanks for watching. Goodbye. This is Erosium.